Tell me about how detective ranks work in New York. So when you get to auto crimes, you're not a detective right
No,
away. So
no.
how does it work?
I was a detective and I was a police officer in auto crime for over 2 years. And in 27 months, we got promoted to, I think that's, maybe we got it wrong, I don't know. I think that's the way it was written. You're doing detective work, they have to make you a detective. And then you had other guys that if they went in and they were undercovers, well, they would get it quicker, you know, and they did a little different work. Then so I got promoted. After 27 months, I got promoted, but then the laws changed, and then they had to backdate me to my 18th day, the 18th month, and I was detective. And once you're there, he used to call it the attendance award. You're there long enough, you're going to get it. And so there was some guys that they were just there to collect paycheck, and there was other guys that worked. I like to think I was one of the guys that work. I did. And so I worked pretty hard, and I ended up getting second grade detective.
So in New York, for the audience, it's a third grade, a second grade, and a first grade.
First grade detective.
Okay, so you make second grade.
Right.
Is it? I'm reading another guy's book right now. Back in the day, like in the 70s, first grade was very, very hard to get. Was it still the same thing for you?
First grade historically was very hard to get.
Okay.
I think they might have loosened it up a little bit now.
Okay.
When I was there with second grade, I kind of figured that I would have been on the list for first grade. I was there long enough. I was, one of the senior men there, and I was one of the most active guys there. And, I think I would have gotten it, but I ended up getting injured and not getting it, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
First grade was it was an accomplishment. A lot of guys, there's also sometimes you'd hear, there was a lot of favoritism. Like certain groups would get it over other. The guys that really deserved it the most, I don't care, I'll tell you. The guys that deserved it the most were the guys that worked in the precinct, that worked the shittiest hours, that handled every garbage complaint that came into the thing. I mean, I worked in auto crime. I dealt with cars, stolen cars. I really didn't deal with what they dealt in. Yeah, maybe my investigative skills on certain things might have been better than they worked a lot harder than me. They deserved it more than I did. They did. I call it as I see it.
Yeah.
Those guys worked. They work hard. They used to do these crappy tours where they would work, 4 to 12, then get into day tours. They couldn't even go home because they had to come back so many hours early, and then they'd get 2 days. They worked hard, and everything that came through the door, they had to handle. We had something, and, it was a car thing, but then it was narcotics. Guess what? Narcotics is getting it. We just push it off, Yeah, they had certain stuff that they used to get rid of too, put it on somebody else. But for the most part, those guys worked a lot harder than I did.
Yeah.
Those are good guys.